Hello, I'm Zack.
I'm Zubeyir.
And welcome to our longer tea discussion about the words by Said Nursi. We're going to continue with our discussion. We left off at the second window, which is a part of the 33rd word in Said Nursi's book, The Words. Please go ahead, Zubeyir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد.
So, we left off last week. We finished the first word.
Yep.
So I don't think we need to go into any details about that because that topic is closed.
Yep.
Let's just move on to the second word, and we'll go topic or word. Actually, we did this first window.
Okay.
And we'll move on to the second window.
Okay.
And we'll just go window by window and try to close each topic with each video.
We try to close each window as the weeks as this discussions passes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Or perhaps as the weather gets warmer, we can open the windows.
Wow. Yeah, that's great.
So, okay. So second window, I'll read it.
Okay.
And then just as as you know, we talked before, we do have
We have the original one.
The Turkish version and the English version for our references, if there's any vocabulary terms that might be a little bit difficult for us to understand in the English. So, second window. While in their existence and individuality, things are in a hesitant, bewildered, and shapeless form among innumerable possible ways. They are suddenly given a most well-ordered and wise aspect of an individuality. For example, every human being has on his face characteristics which differentiate him from all his fellow humans, and it is equipped with other wisdom, with eternal and inner senses.
External.
Excuse me. It is equipped with utter wisdom, with external and inner senses. This proves that the face is a most brilliant stamp of divine oneness. And just as each face testifies to the existence of an all-wise maker and points to his existence, so too the stamp, which all faces display in their totality, shows to the mind's eye that all things are a seal particular to their creator. O denier, to what workshop can you refer these stamps, which can in no way be imitated, and the stamp of eternal besottedness, which is on the totality? Okay, so it was heavy.
Yeah.
Very heavy. I can start with what I understood first from the first sentence, and then if you have anything to add, I want to hear what you have to say, because I did some thinking about this before we started the discussion. Okay. So let me share it, and then we can go from there. So the first sentence is, while in their existence and individuality, things are in a hesitant, bewildered, and shapeless form among innumerable possible ways. Okay. Nursi, the author, gives the example of the face in this example. So before going on to a face, let's imagine the situation of a zebra.
Yeah.
Or not just one zebra, plenty of zebras.
A lot.
A lot of them. Can you distinguish one zebra from the other by its stripes?
No.
No. They are in a very bewildered and shapeless way, in a sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
to me.
To you as a human, and to me as a human. But to a zebra, a baby zebra,
there are, on their skins, there are a bunch of different lines.
Yes.
That's all.
Well, to me and to you,
me,
yes. Yeah. But to a baby zebra?
He or she can distinguish the mother.
Yes. In a pack of however many zebras there are. Just like
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Just like a baby, or just like I or you can distinguish another human being, yani your child, in a crowd of babies.
No matter.
Yeah. So, this is basically telling the existence. Imagine...
We are talking about the individuality of the faces among the carbon atoms that make up the face.
First step.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the first step. Yes, each face itself is just a bunch of carbon atoms at the most basic level.
Yep.
Why should carbon atoms even make a face to begin with?
Which has individuality.
Yes, which you recognize as a face.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of carbon atoms. All carbon atoms are essentially the same.
There must be a purpose.
But when they come together, we recognize a face.
Yes.
But they're all the same. Okay, that's the most basic level. The same thing. the organs on the face, my eyes, my nose, my mouth, etc., those come together and make a face. But really, if we consider all of these organs to be like stripes of a zebra, they shouldn't.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way that we could actually. Why are we recognizing them? The thing is, we do.
Yes.
I mean, that's the point.
I can differentiate you from myself, from
Yes.
a friend, someone else.
Mm-hmm.
So there must be a purpose to shape all those faces accordingly.
Yes.
Differently,
Yes.
giving them individuality.
Yes. Yes. But. Imagine you can't distinguish faces. I mean, this is something that humans can do. Yes, it might be a sickness that certain humans have.
Yes.
They can't distinguish faces.
Yes.
But imagine that we really aren't able to distinguish faces.
They would be meaningless.
Yes.
Everyone would do the same.
Yes.
It would be horrible. Okay.
Okay. We might not even call them faces, actually. We wouldn't have a term to consider it face because it would just be different organs coming together and forming something.
Yep.
Or not forming anything because we don't have a concept of face in the beginning. So, if we can't distinguish these faces themselves, this is the situation that the author is describing.
Huh.
This is the reality. This is how it should be by itself, without being able to distinguish faces. This is the reality of our face.
But it doesn't happen like that.
But it doesn't happen like that. So the fact that it doesn't happen, there's a purpose.
Yep.
And there's something making this happen.
Yes.
There's something beyond the organs of the face that is making me understand that this is a face. One, that it's a face. And two, that it's your face.
Individual to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what is making that? And what does that show? That's the first thing that I got from this, from the first sentence, which I think is a summary of the entire second window.
We need to add something on top of this. Each face has some special characteristics, and on top of this, some external and inner senses bind to the faces. For example, I know he's some angry man.
Okay.
He's a calm man.
Okay. You can tell if he understands by the expressions that they make.
Even I can distinguish the twins.
Mm-hmm.
They look exactly, really close to the same.
Mm-hmm.
They really look like same, but they're not.
Yeah.
And their feeling, their characteristics are slightly different, and I can tell just by looking at their faces.
Yes. Yes. That's good. That's a good point. So not just the face as a physical thing.
Yeah.
But
that's what I meant.
But also the expressions, the feelings, the emotions, even the thoughts.
Even the history that he has been through.
Yes. Actually, I was on my way. I got a haircut, and the barber asked. This is interesting. He asked if I smoked. I said no. I said I knew you didn't smoke. I said, how did you know? I can just tell. I've seen thousands of people come here. I look at all of their faces.
Wow. And
I can just tell through practice, through training, that you don't smoke. It's completely easy for me to tell.
And
I don't smoke, but
ever.
I have in the past. But anyway, I don't know if he could tell that if he has that much training. But anyway, he knew that I wasn't a smoker.
Just by looking at your face.
Just by looking at my face.
Great.
So that is.
So face tells a lot of things.
Yes.
Face carries a lot of things.
Yes.
In another sentence, you can say there are a lot of things that are bound to our faces, one by one, each by each.
Yes.
Someone has to put them in that way.
Yes. Because there's no reason why a smile should mean that I'm happy. I mean, if you want to go from emotions, when I smile, it transmits happiness.
Yep.
But at the same time, you can also tell when I'm faking.
Well, yeah, sure.
I mean, if I give a fake smile, actually people can realize that.
Yes.
So, but there are things being transmitted when they shouldn't be transmitting. There's no reason why a smile should mean happy.
And I can understand when you smile, you're not really happy. You're trying to impress something else or something like
Yes.
that. Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
That reflects your characteristics. And they are all different too.
Yes.
They are all different from me to you.
Your smile is different than my smile.
everything.
And yes.
In order to have different characteristic in each face, and we have just made examples of different added values, different added characteristics to one face. So it's really, really complicated to have thousands of millions of billions of different faces, totally different faces, without replicating any of those.
Okay.
That's a real big fact.
Every face itself is different.
Every face, with all of its attributes.
At the from the carbon atom level,
Yep.
to the physical appearance, to the expressions and how they're expressed.
They're all different.
Yes.
In order to have, in order to make different faces each and every time, you need to know the rest of the faces. All of them.
Okay, but wait. We don't know all the faces, and we can still recognize them even without seeing them.
Well, I would refer to the divine oneness.
Which is what's going in here. That's what's making us do it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I would say, for someone to create different things each and every time, you need to know the whole rest.
Okay, from the creator aspect.
That's what I meant. You were pointing to something else.
I was pointing from the human perspective. The fact that we recognize a face that we've never seen before, and we can recognize if he's smiling, if his smile is fake, all of these, without ever seeing that person before in our lives, shows that it must come from the same maker.
Yes.
Because it has to come from the same maker. I mean, for all the faces to be able to do this, shows that it needs one maker. But also from our perspective as a human, when I see somebody I don't know, and I can recognize from their facial expressions everything.
Smiling, happy, angry, etc.
Even if, for example, I don't speak Chinese. Even if it's a Chinese person, he's happy and I can tell he's happy. I don't speak his language.
He's emotional and so on.
But I can read his emotions without knowing Chinese.
So there's something common.
There's something common. And so from my human perspective, that's how I can confirm this.
Yeah.
The fact that I can see a person I've never seen before and read him, shows that he has to come from the same maker as me, you, and every other face that I have seen.
At the same time, they are all different. They have all different faces.
Yes, and that means that every face then has to come from that maker. If I can say it's a face, it comes from that maker.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's great.
Okay.
And on top of this, from my perspective, I'm trying to point to the creator. The creator has to know all the faces that he has created. Yet, let's get a time.
From the creation perspective, yes, he would have to know every face because
in order to distinguish them from each other.
Yes. Okay.
So, this concept tells us that there is one face creator, not two.
Yes. Yes, because if everything is different but we can still understand it.
Yes.
Okay. That's good.
That's good. Then let's add something more to this. I'll refer to the text. And just as each face testifies to the existence of an all-wise maker and points to his existence. That's okay, this is the first part. So too, the stamp which all faces display in their totality shows to the mind's eye, that all things are a seal peculiar to their creator.
Okay, there's two stamps here.
Yep.
One stamp, each individual face, is the divine oneness. What was the Arabic word for that? I think it was ehadiyat.
Yeah, it's the ehadiyat.
Okay, so the stamp of ehadiyat, of oneness.
Yep.
Okay, so that's each individual face shows that.
I, as a face, have been created by someone who has created every other faces.
Yes.
You got the idea.
Okay, so that's the first stamp.
Yes.
Then, in the totality of all the faces together, so the concept of face.
Yes.
So face. Every face, put it into a group. Concept of face shows a different stamp.
Yes.
What's that stamp?
That stemmed, for example, each face has a lot of attributes that we have just discussed. The emotional, the characteristics, the inner and external senses, and so on. So, in order to create a face, just a single face, it's not simple. In order to create a face, you need to have a lot of things nearby. And just like the butterfly effect, it is related to, and you have to know the rest of the faces too, and they are all related to a lot of things.
Because what makes me happy, he would have to know what makes me happy to. Okay, so
in order to create, just to create a face, a single face, you need to create the whole universe.
Yes.
That means the creator of a face does not need anything else. He has everything in his hands.
He has to have everything in his hand. Because since, as the concept of face, because I want to make sure I understand this. I'll repeat it. Tell me if I... So then, as the concept of face, we just take my face, and I'll consider that as the complete...
The huge face.
The huge face of humanity. When something makes me happy, the creator of my face would also have to know that which makes me happy. And he would have to create that too.
Well, yeah. In order to... For example, your face, each face, all faces, has a special expression to describe, to imitate happiness. And my eyes can understand this.
Okay.
My brain is capable of making judgment out of your expressions, your facial expressions. So there's a connection. In order to see your face, I need sun, the light.
Okay.
You can keep going.
You need everything for the face to exist.
Yes.
To witness,
basically, yes.
To witness the face and to provoke happiness expressions on the face.
So it's not just a face. It's an ecosystem. It's an environment.
It's the universe.
It's the universe.
Okay.
You cannot just... You remember the apple example in some of our... in one of our short videos?
Yes.
You cannot just create an apple in this space, empty space.
Yes.
It wouldn't...
It requires water, it requires gravity, it requires the universe too. So a face... so the face...
The face is also connected with the rest of the universe, even more complicated.
Yes, because it also now gets into emotions and characteristics,
senses, expressions.
Yes, consciousness. It shows consciousness too.
And
the apple
and some art.
Here's the thing. There's a difference here. We talked about an apple before. An apple doesn't show consciousness in its existence. The face does.
It doesn't show individuality at this extent.
I think this is the point. It just came to my mind. I'll share it. The apple doesn't show the consciousness.
Yep.
A face shows consciousness.
To the full extent.
That means to be able to create a face, you would have to you would have to then be the owner of consciousness too.
And consciousness requires everything that,
more than that's why it's more than the apple, what you said, because a human has that potential, that capacity of consciousness. Oh, that's a good one.
Wow. I'm thrilled.
Well, that's I think where it comes into. What's the name of that stamp? It says eternal besottedness in English. The Arabic is Samediyya, which means I don't think you could get that meaning from the English.
Yeah, please. You could describe, I guess.
Samed means that which depends on nothing else for its existence, for its being, for anything.
Yeah.
So we are dependent. We are dependent. I think we talked about that, how a face is dependent on everything in existence. Yes. But also now put the level of consciousness on that. So he's not dependent on us for consciousness. We're dependent on him for the consciousness. Because to create a manifestation of consciousness on this face,
which is individual to everyone.
Which is then individual, which shows all different consciousnesses.
Huge.
Oh, that's big. That means that he has no need of us for the consciousness. That he's.
We need him
We need him, but he doesn't need
to
us.
have the consciousness and to express it, to share it, to display it,
Yes, and to realize it.
to realize it. Then, yeah.
And he doesn't need us for it. Because he's doing it, he's showing it, just
Through us.
through something that shouldn't be doing it, which is at the very beginning.
Yes.
There's no reason why these should do it.
A bunch of carbon atoms.
Yes, but he's doing it. Whoa. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think that's a good stop point.
Yes, I do too. So thank you very much. Please put your comments, questions, concerns on the bottom.
Yeah.
Uh,
See you next time.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.